Yeah, dude, I can tell you this right now. Stealing, especially handicap spots, is very much not cool, and I feel like one day you're gonna piss off the wrong person, and they're gonna make it so that you're able to use that spot. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/iamatotalPOS, and if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Okie-dokie, let go. Thank you. That's my baby. This was all in regards to somebody finding a lost pet. You're welcome. I will deliver it at your doorstep, but you have to send me money that I've been using to take care of your baby, and money for a cab to deliver it to your address. I will take advance money before I can do anything. I have done this before and end up in police stations because they accuse me of stealing pets. I'll take part payment, and after I deliver to you, I will collect my balance, and my advance payment is $100. Oh yeah, no, you know, all those stiffs at the police station have been saying that I have been stealing pets. No, I'm just holding this one ransom. Completely different. Nope, this is totally a different thing. You need to know the differences here. If anybody's ever wondered why there is absolutely no reason for me to ever get TikTok, and I never want to get TikTok, is because of stupid stuff like this with people thinking they can just stop an entire road of traffic just to make their little itty-bitty videos. And I've talked about getting a train horn on the Gladiator in the past, and I'm not talking about replacing the main horn so I only have the option of train horn. I'm talking about having it on a little switch to be able to deal with dum-dums like this. And the two places I've seen where I just get the most confusion about seeing people do these dancing TikTok videos was, one, I was at Katsucon in line, and then for some reason just two people started dancing in sync to no music whatsoever, and the other one being at my local state fair and everything. I was just walking by with the little fried Oreos and everything. I was just confused out of my mind, but I'm pretty certain I made them have to redo it because I would guess I was walking in the background. Yeah, you know, God forbid other people exist in that same location. Yeah, no, if you haven't figured it out within the first half second of me saying anything, yeah, this lady decided to bring her own bell to a restaurant to try to ring down the waiter, and I can guarantee you that feels very much right up my alley with me working at the cash register, and I got somebody over at the fish wall thinking they could shout from the other side of the store to get my attention, even though I'm already working with somebody doing a transaction. I'm not even kidding. A lot of retail guys unfortunately got to deal with stuff like that, especially if you work at pet stores. The amount of ignorance, the amount of ignorance tied with the sheer audacity that these people bring into wherever they walk into is just honestly astounding. And I can pretty much guarantee you, myself and pretty much anybody who has to deal with this kind of stuff, if we happen to hear you shouting or ringing that little bell, we will make an effort to ignore you. That is a certified fact. And just watch this person at the end of the day give the restaurant like 1 star. Oh, well, I was ringing my own little bell and they didn't come over. And honestly, the only way I can respond to that would be like, well, it was kind of justified because you're being a class A dingling. Do not think for a single second that anybody that brings their own little noisemaker device into a restaurant, whatever the building is, will actually be a good thing. It very much is never. I got arrested this morning, went to the police station, and they said I'm a class B felony, and I have to do up to 10 years on June 9th. Context for this post was that apparently her and her friend decided it was funny to try to beat up on a homeless person, and I really do hate the fact that there are people in this world that just blatantly ignore the idea and don't know the definition of the word consequences. Like, oh darn, I was not expecting to get arrested. All I did was beat up a random person. What do you mean I do this one thing and something else happens? What is this, cause and effect? This will be the same person that probably drives 20 over, rear-ends somebody, and then blames the other person for driving too slow and they're not even in the left lane. Just another wonderful example of why people among the human race very much have a hard time pointing the finger at themselves and accepting that maybe you messed up. The real heroes are the vaccinated. Ah yes, you know, because let's deface a veteran memorial that's been up for years on years because there's this new thing that everybody is focusing on right now, so let's do this to give ourselves some internet points or some ego points. I don't know the points, although everything about this sounds stupid. And it's unfortunately going to be stuff like this that there's the reason that there winds up being security around every single memorial. Rehoming 5-year-old pit bull. I need to rehome my pit. Great nanny dog. No dog aggression at all. He loves everyone. We just don't have the time for him, and I want a puppy instead. You know, I feel like you could have just left out that whole 90% of everything before and just blatantly stated you want to get a puppy, because very much we have another wonderful case of my dog is no longer a puppy, I want to get rid of it. You imagine how many people would be in a riot if somebody actually tried doing this with a kid? Like, oh, hey, our kid is no longer a toddler anymore. Yeah, no, let's just put him up for adoption. Plus, also, by your wonderful, wonderful logic, you're stating that you don't have the time for them, but you want to get a puppy, which the dog, that puppy's gonna have a lot more energy than the 5-year-old dog, I can tell you that, because puppy energy very much is a thing. That's like saying you just want to relax on the road and drive slow, but instead of getting a minivan, you get a frickin' Ferrari. Please, I really hate that this has to be said, but I know the fact that there are people in the world that need to hear this. Do not get any living being if you're going to want to get rid of it after it's past whatever its baby phase is. Can I reject a paternity test as the mother of my child? Ex-husband wants a paternity test for our daughter. I have a couple of reasons for not wanting this to happen. Firstly, it is my child, and I don't want anyone taking her DNA without my consent, and I don't want to give that consent. Secondly, the money that my ex-husband provides in child support is vital to my daughter and I having a safe, stable place to live. If it turns out that a certain someone else was the father, my daughter and I would be thrust into poverty. Is it possible to reject a DNA test for my daughter? It is possible to mandate my ex-husband continue to pay child support even if he isn't the father, given that he undertook a fatherly role for 5 years before he left us? Why don't you just say the reason that includes a lot less words? I likely cheated on my husband, but since my husband was there around the time I got pregnant, he now pays child support, and I'm not entirely sure he is the father, but if confirmed not to be the father, the child support would stop and then I'd have to actually do something to make a living. Plus also with that whole paragraph that says if it turns out that a certain someone else was the father, yeah, I'm fairly certain everybody knows the answer at this point. You're just very adamant about not getting that test done because you know for a fact the money that your ex-husband is giving you is going to change after that. Plus also, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're saying that the father is in fact your ex-husband, then wouldn't he also have a say in whether or not the test gets done? You know what really sucks is that this isn't the first time I've seen a dog get spray painted with the word free when abandoned, because very much I don't want this to be a trend on the subreddit at all. I really hope that this dog gets a forever home, because I definitely love dogs where they have the type of head shape where you can tell from a distance, in addition to the tail wagging, that they're happy, because like with pit bulls and bulldogs and all this stuff, they will smile. Like it's a very visible and blatant happy smile. If you ever do anything to any living being, you should have that exact same thing done to you. So let me know who did this and give me a can of spray paint. I want to put the word a-hole on this person, whoever did this. My daughter said she was a little embarrassed to walk into school like this because some of the kids have been saying not nice things to her. Well, I told her this: you're 8 and kids can be cruel towards things they may not understand. Sometimes you may feel alone in this, but trust me, we are not. There are millions of people fighting this battle with us. Toughen up, stand strong, and be proud. And then I showed her how many people liked her previous pictures, and in she went with her head held high. Oh, what? Why would your kid be embarrassed? No, you're only using your 8-year-old kid for Facebook likes and to push your political opinion. You know, I think that if a kid doesn't want to do it, then that's their choice. Just because they're a kid does not invalidate that choice. Father injected 1- and 2-year-old with, yeah, it doesn't say hero, but YouTube won't let me say what it actually is, to make them sleep. Look, that does make somebody sleep, but oftentimes when they go to sleep, they don't wake up. I'm fairly certain you are not winning the Parent of the Year award, because this is very much not any way to do anything, really. I just had 5 girls under the age of 10 knock on the front door that I'm pet sitting at in this location. They were handing out a brochure for a conservative candidate that is running for a school board trustee on November 2nd. I only point out the conservative part because the little girl that was speaking made sure to clearly say that part as directed by her mother. Then she went on to say that this candidate is against CRT. I said to the little girls, well, what's CRT? Wanting to hear their response. They all shook their heads, not knowing, and just said, I don't really know, but my mom says it's bad and should stay out of schools. And then one little girl said, oh, I know, critical race theory. And I said, I'm not quite sure I know what that means. She said, she didn't either, and they all shook their heads in confusion, all while Mom was in her van parked at the end of the driveway. Way to exploit these kids, lady. All I could think of was the girls from Sparkle Motion and Donnie Darko. Northern Idaho freaking grosses me out. If you're going to have any type of a political thing involving somebody else, maybe don't use your kids as a scapegoat just to get yourself out of having any sort of negative response. Because we all know that was the reason you waited in your van, because you didn't want to come up to the door and have anybody having a difference of opinion than you. And with that last dum-dum, that's gonna have to be it with the video. If you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.